Welcome back to College Football Live.
Well, the spring and summer realignment derby has come and gone, and the Big East has survived, although it looked touch and go for a while there, with the Big Ten certainly making overtures to some of the schools. But then for the Big East Conference, surviving this kind of stuff is nothing new. Many skeptics predict the conference would meet its demise when schools like Virginia Tech, Miami, and BC took off. Reese Davis with today's What If?
We begin with D-Day for the U of M.
That's M as in Miami, as in moving. Schools' athletic teams will now be members of the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Miami accepted its invitation to join the ACC today.
Teams leave the Big East along with Virginia Tech to bring the ACC to 11 schools. And what for the moment is an 11-team alignment and a potential football powerhouse. Here's hoping you're not tired of the ACC expansion story just yet.
Sunday, Boston College accepted an invitation to join the ACC. As the ACC's 12th member, the Golden Eagles are the golden ticket to a lucrative league championship football game.
In 2003, Miami, Boston College, and Virginia Tech bolted the Big East to join a new 12-team ACC with a football conference championship game. Miami and Tech began play in 2004, while BC was on board in 2005. But what if those three schools turned down the ACC's offer and instead stayed put as members of the Big East? With those three still in the Big East, West Virginia fails to win 11 games in the 05, 06, and 07 seasons and never plays in a BCS bowl game. Rich Rodriguez does not become the hot coaching commodity and never gets offers from Alabama or Michigan. Meanwhile, with the Big East keeping the three schools, it decides to expand and gets Louisville, Cincinnati, and South Florida to join and never kicks out Temple. With 12 teams, the Big East plays a conference championship each season, increasing the league's chances of having a member play in the BCS title game. The ACC champion is different in 3 of the next 6 seasons, as Virginia Tech doesn't win the 04, 07, or 08 conference titles, and instead of losing multiple games to the Eagles, Hokies, or Hurricanes from 2005 to 2007, Clemson feasts on a weaker ACC and becomes the elite team in the conference. The Tigers win multiple conference titles, and head coach Tommy Bowden, now held in high esteem in the coaching ranks, takes over at Florida State for his retiring father, Bobby. The Seminoles, having never lost multiple games to Virginia Tech or Miami, never brings in Jimbo Fisher, so Florida State looks to the younger Bowden to fill their coaching vacancy. It's a question that can't be answered with any certainty. It opens so many possibilities. What if?
It's fun stuff. That's a lot of what ifs.
I tell you what, after watching that, I hope there's no more conference expansion when you see what's happening with all those coaches there, you know.
But if those schools were in the Big East, do you think your program would have had the light to emerge? Would it have been tougher?
Well, we still would have been able to come in, but I think it might have been a little bit tougher, you know, from the top end there. But, you know, because we had to come into the Big East a year earlier than what we were supposed to. But I think it allowed us to have a better opportunity to be successful a little bit earlier if those three teams, you know, weren't there. So
people said, you know, that maybe this conference doesn't deserve a BCS automatic bid. I think the performance has quieted some of that. But as you look forward, and it was touch and go this summer, you know, no one knew what was going to happen or where UConn was going to end up. What about the strength of this league?
You know, Chris and Brian, I really feel like from top to bottom, this is as strong as any league there is in the country. I mean, when you take a look and you got to go play these teams, you don't have a week off. And there's conferences where you might be able to take a week off and certain things. But from top to bottom, this is as tough as any conference.
Now, fans out there are saying, wait a minute, every conference says that.
But you know what? They can say that, but I really believe that. And you know what? The one thing that I like about the Big East is the fact that we were hit with adversity when that happened, and there were a lot of naysayers saying that we could never survive or we could never do it. But you know what? We took the message that we were just going to go and pin our ears back and just work hard and do what we had to, and we really got it done on the field, and I think we've hopefully ended all that speculation that people might have had.
Well, I think you have, you know, Pitt Cincinnati, West Virginia, UConn, all tremendous teams in the Big East. And if I'm a Big East team, I'm going to take care of my own business right now because the conference is very strong from within. And you're auditioning for if the super conference scenario does materialize in the next couple of years, you're not left out in the cold, right?
Exactly. And that's the thing. You know, you've got an opportunity. There's only 8 teams in our league. So you've got an excellent opportunity being a member of this conference to win your conference and get to that BCS game. And again, who knows what's going to happen, you know, down the road with this expansion. And all you're trying to do is just make sure that you've got yourself in the best possible situation if or when something else does
You'd like
occur.
some more teams, right? You'd like to see it.
Oh, we'd like, yes, definitely like to see some more teams.
And you want to play a championship game ultimately?
I'm not so sure I'm sold on the championship game.
A lot of coaches aren't, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not, I don't think I'm really sold on that because I think if you take a look, maybe other than one conference, that championship game really hasn't panned out for a lot of conferences.
All right, coming up, as you mentioned, Randy's on the Rules Committee. There's a change on the way in 2011 that'll make the old school people happy. Some of us think there ought to be fun in college football. I don't know if I love this rule. We'll kick this around.